I thought all my life that everyone saw the written word the way I do. I had no clue until I was well into adulthood that the way you see words and the way I see words are worlds apart.
You have a quote from Horace Mann that you love. Can you tell me what that quote is and what it means to you?
Yes. Well, Horace Mann, as you know, was the father of American education, as we know education today, even. And one of his famous quotations is, "Be afraid to die until you have won some victory for humanity." And as a young academic, when I was finishing my undergraduate work and becoming a teacher, I wondered what my contribution was going to be. What victory, what could I possibly win for humanity? And little did I know that I would be filing a lawsuit to fight for my own rights under the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990.
What kind of learning disability do you have, and how did that lead to the famous 10-year trial you were involved in?
I am a dyslexic. I lack a skill called automaticity. And this is where I don't necessarily see the same letters or configuration today that I would see on the same word tomorrow. As a result of being learning disabled, I asked the New York Board of Law Examiners for the accommodation of merely extra time, and I was denied, and that led to my lawsuit.
I would like to read a quote from Judge Sotomayor, who was in the District Court of New York at that time, and what she had to say about your case. "For those of us for whom words sing, sentences paint pictures, and paragraphs create panoramic views of the world, the inability to identify and process words with ease would be crippling. Marilyn Bartlett, an obviously intelligent, highly articulate individual, reads slowly, haltingly, and laboriously. She simply does not read in the manner of an average person." How did it make you feel to have Judge Sotomayor say this about you?
Well, first of all, it made me know definitively that she understood exactly what is going on for someone with a learning disability as myself. So it made me feel very good to know that she understood. But it also made me feel very sad, because there's this idea in my head, I would love to be able to read the way you read. I'd like to pick up a book and just be able to read, because I don't know that experience. I don't have that experience.
Well, you're certainly a wonderful example for your students. What kind of tips do you have for young adults with LD, for adults with LD, to be better self-advocates?
I think while students are still in elementary school, that they need to become involved in their own lives and protecting and standing up for their own rights.
And how can they do that?
Now, personally, I advocate that when a student becomes a freshman or a sophomore in high school, that it's more important in terms of their IEPs not to be pulling the student necessarily out of classrooms, but to provide accommodations that allow the student to stay in the content areas that they need so badly. So for adults, once they leave the high school, the secondary setting, and go to post-secondary schools, whether it be a technical school or a university, then they go to that setting knowing what accommodations work for them. For adults, I think adults have to be ever vigilant and have to really self-advocate, which takes a lot of fortitude. It's not easy.
How did your case eventually change the ADA?
My case became the discussion point for the framers of the original ADA when they brought the ADA back to Washington to add amended acts. That was my victory.